hear it's good snorkeling here, and we're not getting to shore any other way, so Phil and I are going snorkeling. So we're just sitting there thinking how beautiful it was in this wild spot. I came over to tighten the steering wheel, which was still bouncing around a little. It was pretty rough, so the rudder was still being hit by the waves. And as I turned this wheel and tightened it, Phil said, "Why isn't this wheel turning at the same time?" So we then realised we have a steering problem, which we're going to sort out this morning.
Well, here's the real problem. The steering cable's chafed through. Buddy's come over today to help us just diagnose what's the problem and see what we need to do to fix it.
Can't move without much wind.
Yeah, and the worst thing you want is to be in this marina at night when the wind quits blowing, because then the mosquitoes all come out.
Yeah.
And they make it miserable. This is going to be interesting. It should.
Now, on advice from our mates on the catamaran La Cigale, who also had a problem with their steering cable snapping on a 6-month-old Naughty-Tech cat, is to check the quality of the steering cable. Theirs was 304 steel, not the highly rust-resistant 316. So we've checked, and you do that by putting a magnet against it. If it's magnetic, it's not 316. So lo and behold, we have checked, put a magnet up against it, and it sticks, and so we do not have the more rust-resistant 316. So the local team here at Indigo Yachts are going out to Jeffa and making sure that the steel that they provide us with, or the cable they provide us with, is 316. It's a Friday night in town, and we've been invited by Buddy to join him and 3 of his mates to just head up the coast to what's probably the best fish restaurant in St. Kitts. They directly source their stock right from the fishing guys over here, Vibration and the others. Best ribs in St. Kitts, spicy, great sauce, really good.
It's the weekend, nothing's going to happen on the steering cable, so it's time to go out and explore St. Kitts.
How much carrot you would like to have?
How much are the carrots?
$4.50 a pound, easy. You choose what you want. So you have some beautiful one here. Nice, sexy one like you. Straight and long. Nice, beautiful.
Something I need to do for myself every now and then. Had the change with the short, and always pictured having the blue to go with it. There you go.
So now that we've got time in St. Kitts up our sleeves, we thought we'd finally get the signage on the front of the boat.
Okay, so we've hopped in the local bus. They're just mini buses that run around the island, and we're off to climb Brimstone Hill.
First cannon on Brimstone Hill was put here by the English in 1690 when they were trying to take Fort Charles down there. Then when the French invaded St. Kitts, 8,000 troops, 1,000 English were stationed up here. And they held off for a month before surrendering. A year later, the British and the English signed the Treaty of Versailles, and so St. Kitts was given back to the English.
You would die if you were like into the.
This is what it's like living next to a cruise ship terminal. This morning's adventure is St. Kitts Scenic Railway. It's the only railway running in the Caribbean, and the reason it's here is sugarcane. So sugarcane was the main industry in the islands from the 1600s onwards, first with white labour and then African slaves. And obviously slavery came to an end before sugarcane did. They continued making sugarcane until 2005, but the railway has continued running so that people like us can go. It's going to be lots of fun.
Grange Bridge is the highest bridge on our tour. It was harvested and taken to the cone-shaped structure. And so right in there would be that contraption to grind the sugarcane.
So this morning we're zipping 3 boats that way down to pro divers. Phil does scuba diving, and they've kindly allowed Aidan and myself to go along for free. So we'll do a bit of snorkeling and I'll do some free diving too.
You gotta get rid of that attachment.
Well, it was a great trip, the US and Cuba, and good to have a bit of time away from Tranquilo, but also very good to be home. And we have 3 bits of good news and 1 bit of bad news about the boat, which kind of seems like the normal ratio for boats. So good news is Tranquilo is here and safe and weathered the 40 knot winds that they've been having here. Secondly, 2 things I was worried about. The charge on our batteries was okay. We had virtually nothing going the whole time. Fridge was off and open to stay to air out, and there's hardly any slime underneath. But we will, once we're on anchor, we'll just rub off the bottom of the hull and keep it nice and clean. So that's 2 bits of good news. The third one is our steering cable has arrived and is 3 customs and Indigo Yachts has it ready. But the bad news is that Indigo Yachts cannot fit it until Monday. So a few more days to go. And much as I like St. Kitts, I am busting to get out of here.
So we finally got a replacement block with Beckett, and so it's time to put the system back into how it's supposed to be. That will go up onto the sail, and this will go onto the soft tacker. By the way, I've spec'd up the block to the next size up just to give it more strength.
I can't reach. You just need to do a knot?
Yep.
Like a figure of 8 twice?
Rolling. That's it. So after nearly a month, the parts from Jeppa for the steering cable have finally arrived. So today, we work with Buddy to get it all changed over.
There you go. So lean it back. You're gonna have to pick it up and lean it back. Well, it's close.
Yeah.
Well, but see, I can make adjustments in these to center it a little bit. Right there. That's your center mark right there.
Yeah.
You see there's very little play in it. Probably be none when you get the wheels tight. But then I'm gonna run the lock nuts up on it. All right, so that'll hold everything in place.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it. That's a wrap. The steering is now fixed. So it took a bit longer. It took about 30 days to source the cable from Denmark to here. I hate to think what would have happened if this had happened in somewhere in the Pacific. But it is what it is. Fixed, we're ready to go. So we're off to Nevis and then heading south. Eventually we'll hit the Grenadines.
We are out of there! Woohoo! All good. Steering's fine.
What is this petition for?
We're bound for Nevis. Alright, turn the engine off. Go a bit more. I'm so happy to be sailing, even though it's pretty adventurous out here. It's about 25 knots, gusting to 29. So we're just sailing with 3/4 of a head sail and still doing about 5.5 knots. All good.